These are the weeks you look forward to, don't you, when you get involved in rugby?
Yeah, definitely. It's everything you dream of, being in these games and winning these games growing up, and everything you work towards is to be in the big games, and these weeks are part of it, so I'm really happy.
The connection within the group is probably the best it's been, well, since I've been here, and the connection between the players, the staff, the fans. How important is that this week?
Yeah, it's massive. It's big every week, to be happy and to go to work with your mates is a privilege, and we get to do that every day, so when you get to these big games and it's going to be a tough battle, to know that you can look either side and see your best mates is pretty special.
And not to bring it up, but the 2023 final and last year's grand final, although we lost, what can you take from that going into this week?
I think you take bits from the week about making sure you just keep your preparation as normal as possible, so to speak. You have events like this which are a bit out of the norm, but everything you do on your training days and your day offs, you should just make sure you do the same things. You don't have to change anything just because it's a big game. And then obviously we'll have learnt a lot from in the game, how to play the games, not the occasion, and what matters in those games.
And on that, usually the first 20 minutes of a game can be the most important. With the build-up surrounding the game, how do you switch off just before the game to make sure you get the best start?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the start will be really important this week, but for us and how we play, the start's important every week. So, I think there were times over the past probably 18 months, 2 years, where we weren't starting games so good, and people have sort of worked out what works for them individually, and us as a group to be able to get off to some good starts, and that's probably a real strength of ours at the moment. And so just doing what we normally do, in the change rooms, I spoke about trying to keep things as normal as possible. So whatever your normal prep is, whether we're at Craven Park or away at another Super League club, just go and do it in Wembley.
And what would it mean to bring that trophy back to Eastall?
Yeah, it'd mean everything, just to be able to hopefully bring that trophy home and see the looks on those faces, and how much it'll mean to them is something we're definitely aware of, and it's definitely one of the driving factors for us.
Not just for the fans, or personally for you, what would it mean?
Yeah, definitely. This is everything I've wanted is to go on and win trophies. So it's what drives me on is to go and get some success. So it's time to go and get that success now.
And we played a couple of weeks back, but even though it would be a different team, there's still stuff you can take from that game, whereas this week is a completely different experience.
There will be things we can take from the game, and we'll probably look more at ourselves and things we could have done better, because there were a lot of things we can definitely improve on from that game. So with a lot of lessons, a lot of review, we've looked at that game and areas we know we can improve, and basically we're going to expect Warrington to come and be better. We're going to expect the best Warrington to turn up, so we've got to make sure the best LKR turns up.
Cheers, Bat.
No worries.
Yeah, it's a special occasion. We really embrace the Challenge Cup. I have the first, before my time, but obviously 2 years ago when we got the final, and last year we obviously didn't get there, so it was really disappointing for us, because we enjoyed the year before, even though we didn't get a result. We've got an opportunity to go do something again.
And how do you keep these weeks like a normal week, and try and get the occasion away from it?
Yeah, look, obviously media and going down a little bit earlier. There's different sort of approach around that, but in terms of how many times you're on the field and video sessions and all that, everything's still the same. We're really processed in our approach to games, and that won't change. It's obviously the send off. When we sort of see our fans before we go, that's different, but everything else will be the same.
And on the fans, like the connection between the players, the fans, the staff, that's going to be important this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. Look, it's something that we want to do. We want to see the fans before we go. We're a community club. We're connected to our fans, the players and the fans. You can see the connection they've got every time the players take the field. There's a real respect for each other, and they're a loyal bunch, and we're loyal back to them, and we'll make sure that we do them proud this weekend.
And what would it mean to you on a personal level to bring that trophy home? It's great for the fans, but what about yourself?
Yeah, it'd be massive. But I look to this club, all these players of 30, 40 years down the track of, that they can become legends of this club. And I want to be part of a WhatsApp. That's a Challenge Cup, winners in 2025, where in 30 years' time you can come back together and enjoy a beer and have a chat about the win and the celebrations and all that. That'd be pretty cool to be able to experience that. So we're going to that door job.
And just lastly, I'll quickly touch on Warrington. Is there much you can take from that game a couple of weeks ago? Is it a different beast now? Because it'll be a different looking team, won't it? Yeah,
it's different, mate. There's no doubt about that. So we're expecting the best version of them. But on the flip side, they're hopefully getting the best version of us. We've played them a couple of times last year or a few times last year. But again, it's a different game. It's on the big stage now, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, cheers, Willie.
Thanks, Kieran.